ngazisa kuba faithful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, whilst we are waiting for the elephant to cross, we will might as well talk about a few cultures. Sorry to speed up the reaction. It's because only a couple of days to go. So we believe maybe at some point we want to have this time where we sit around, because Cape Town is very nice, and there's no time where somebody would like to listen to Chris. Is that okay? So Franz, are you ready for the culture? Okay, so I'm going to start with a very simple culture of my tribe. My name is Christopher Zulu. I'm from Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. I'm a Tonga by tribe. So a Tonga, the Tonga people, this is just a minority in my country. We've got the dominant Shona people. We've got the second dominant, the Ndebele people, and then other like tribes, regional tribes. It could be from either from Malawi, from Zambia. All these small tribes are actually part of Cecil John Rhodes' plan of actually building a railway line from Cape to Cairo. So you would take people like from Malawi, and then they work perhaps in Zimbabwe, just in the railway line or in the coal mines. So we've got a mixture of these regional tribes. So me as a Tonga, we come technically from Zambia. My grandfather came from Zambia. So when we are in Zimbabwe, we are called the Tonga people. And when we are in Zambia, they are called the Tongalayers. Now also it's the same close to South Africa. We've got the Tsonga people that are also people that are found along the water bodies or rivers, because fishing is our main activity. So according to our culture, if I want to get married to a lady, what happens is, like, instead of me approaching my aunt, instead of me approaching my father or my mother, rather I go to my aunt. She's the closest person to me who I can share any kind of like information, be it deep secrets or anything that has to do with my life. So if I want to get married, suppose I've seen someone, I'll just have to go and talk to her and tell her that I've seen somebody that looks like my future wife. The reason why I do that before I approach the lady, it's because some of the families are associated with witchcraft. Some of the families have got like deeper problems, and you might also realize that maybe as we grew up in the community, these were some of our enemies in the community or something like that. So it's very important that I let her know that I've seen this girl from this place, and then she is going to Google the family, right? And then if the family is okay, and then she will just tell me, Chris, this is a good family, because sometimes when you just get married to someone perhaps who are associated with witchcraft, once you are inside the marriage, it's difficult to actually pull out. So the main reason is just to make sure that you do the checks before you enter that particular relationship. So if she is fine with the family, she will just give me a thumb sign and say she is fine. But also, before I approach the girl myself, she is going to play the go-between. That means that she is going to go and soften my future wife for me, so that by the time I come, I just finish the deal, if you know what I mean. So if the lady is super happy, she will be like, okay, I think it's a good story. So now my aunt is going to play a very pivotal role of actually going to see the in-laws. So there by the in-laws, when we arrive, she will be alone, perhaps maybe with someone from my family. And then in our culture, a woman is regarded as fire. So they will just go and say, we are asking for fire in my in-laws place. So if my in-laws have got more than one girl, including my future wife, they will just ask my aunt, which fire do you need, because we've got so many girls here. So they will just say maybe Amanda, and then they will have to call Amanda and ask, we've got visitors from this family. Do you know them? Can we bring them in? By that time, we are outside the homestead or outside the yard. We are not yet inside the homestead. So if she says yes, okay, and then they open the door for us, we enter, or my aunt and whosoever is accompanying her. So once they do all the things, they will just prepare an opportunity for us to meet. So that will be the first time where I meet with the woman. Obviously we are going to talk, but no intimacy yet. It's just talking. So there is now 2 families that are carefully looking forward to have something special from both of us. So they will all be carefully listening and following everything that is happening. So we are then given a special night where we have to spend the whole night for a certain few things to be revealed. So like I said, both families will be carefully monitoring and actually looking forward for the next morning. So the medium wives or the elderly will then enter the room that we used. This is just to reveal if my future wife is still a virgin or not. That also gives a rough idea of how much she might cost when it comes to bride price. So if she is not a virgin, maybe we are looking at from around 7 or 5 beasts going downwards. And if perhaps she is a virgin, then 10 beasts going all to 15. These are cows. So if everything is well done, and then now they are going to start preparing the traditional beer, which is made up of sorghum and millet, which is also brewed for a period of about 7 days. So after 7 days, local people, both families, will come together and do a small celebration. That will be our legal traditional wedding. So after the traditional wedding, and then the opportunity comes where if I want to do a white wedding, we can proceed. So in my Tonga culture, if I am suspecting any kind of like infidelity to my future wife, whom I have already paid the bride price, that means technically I own her. That's only in the Tonga tribe, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to get me very clearly. So technically I have paid for her, she is mine. So if I do suspect that there is any kind of like infidelity, I then have to go to a traditional doctor or a witch doctor, and then I'll have to go and treat myself and get the medication, or let me just say the decoction or anything that is coming from the herbal doctor. So I have to drink that system, and then from there, in front of my private part, I have to add some powder. So once I have a sexual intercourse with my wife to be, she is done and locked. So what does it mean? It basically means that if there is another Chris somewhere, if Chris is on a tour, and then another Chris tried to visit my wife, so I've already locked her. And the Tonga tribes are well known for this. So what does it mean, locking? Locking basically means that any intercourse that she wants to do with somebody, it's either these people are going to be stuck, you know what I mean, like stuck like dogs, yes, up until I release them myself, or the man will be able to come out, but then his tummy is going to be growing and growing and growing, and also his private parts as well, up until they go maybe boom or something. So, or else the guy might be able to come out unharmed, but he won't survive the bait. So these are some of the interesting culture. I will leave it hanging for there. The shop on the right here is mountain aloes, these kind of like trees which has got like some milk latex. And I believe for the ladies, you know very well the aloe vera products, right? Yes. So we just drove past one of the small factories. So it means now that my wife is locked, and this is real. There is no fabrication of any kind, and on this one you are also free to go online as well and check. It happened recently in Cameroon. So you realize that most cultures adopted this not only from the Tonga, but also the Tonga also got it from some people, but most cultures now are now using this very same thing. So also if she is now married, if she is now mine, I have to remove the one front teeth, alright, and also put the wooden earrings on the ears. This is just but a sign to say she is married, such that any other boy or guy who sees him out, who sees her out there, will definitely know that this one is taken. More like, let's say maybe the Indians, they've got like a mark here, especially the married women. So that's typically also our style. So according to the Tonga tribe, each and every year you will find out that two men will go into a village square. So in that village square, both of them are holding shields and spears. So these guys are going to fight each other until one of them is dead. So you realize that each and every year, the Tonga tribe, we were losing one man. But because of the United Nations, international laws, and other like things, they were also locally in the country as well. The traditional leaders for the Tonga tribe were then invited, and they were told that killing a person is actually a crime. So these are some of the things that they managed to reverse. They also managed to reverse the fact that people should remove women the teeth, because once she is divorced, it also means that she won't have another second opportunity. So the Tonga people no longer remove the teeth. So in that particular order, the Tonga tribe, a woman also equally, she has got the power to lock a man. Right? It's possible. She will do almost the same process, and then once I have the intercourse with her, I'm done and locked. Meaning to say, even if I meet somebody along the way, along the journey, somewhere private, nothing will happen. That means there will be no power. It will be load shedding. So it will only be powerful when I get back home. So this is the mystery of the Tonga tribe and the Tonga culture. So in most African cultures, it is actually something very important for a girl child to keep her virginity up until a specific time where she is now allowed to have a man, or she is now ready to have a family. So how do other tribes check if a girl is still a virgin? So we have got special trials that these young girls go through, because most of them will just agree and say, I am a virgin. Obviously we do have the middle women, which are responsible for checking if she is still a virgin, and also the other way of actually checking to see if she is a virgin. If it is in a village setup, mostly like the horses and donkeys. So if a donkey is very, very sick, or a horse lying down there, they can't even do anything. So if you are a virgin, or you only have one man, you will then be given an opportunity to go and jump that horse whilst it's sleeping there. And it's believed that once you jump over the horse or the donkey, it should within a minute or so stand up and run. That's how tricky the situation is. So if you see yourself jumping a horse and the donkey is still sleeping, something is wrong somewhere, somehow. All right. So once she jumps to the other side, the donkey should not waste even a minute. It should just stand up and start running. That's also another perfect sign that the girl is still a virgin. We are going to crawl in one of the interesting cultures as well. These are called the Lobale people. So the Lobale people, they do have a special ceremony where they take young boys into the bush for 6 months. This is a process which is called a boy becomes a man. So let's say at the age of 10, you are taken to the camp. So these guys are going to stay in the bush for 6 months. Their families are going to be bringing in food almost every day for them to eat. But if the camp is like maybe just on the other side of the road here, the ladies, when they bring food, they must be close to that white house there. They must not come close. So someone from the camp will then have to come and get the food and just alert the people at the camp to say the food is ready, and then somebody from the camp should actually also respond and say we are ready. If there is no response from the camp, the person is going to be shouting and shouting and shouting up until someone responds. And then the guy takes the food from that maybe 100 to 200 meters away from the ladies. They remain seated there waiting for the plates, and then he comes, put the food, they eat. But that food should not have salt at all, because also these boys, they go through circumcision at the same time. So this is the way of them healing quickly as a team, as boys, and they will be having these men that are actually directing them each and every day. So these people also, the painful part, or should I say the tricky part, is that they will only have shower maybe once in a month, if not once in 2 months. And that shower, they will have to go either early in the morning to the riverside or late afternoon around 4 or 5, whenever people are not around, because they are actually not supposed to be seen by anybody in those 6 months, even if they are in the bush. That bushy area or that camp is also protected by the police. Anyone who is not part of the tribe, if you are seen in that as a trespasser, it's either the police who arrest you, or those people who definitely manhandle you themselves, because they just, it's one of those scary cultures. So it means shower once or twice in 2 months, and then just very close to the ceremony, if it's about to end, they then have to make sure that the last day of the activity, they have to wake up around 4 a.m., go to the river and wash themselves, get ready and run back to the camp. So once they run back to the camp, they put on traditional costumes. Now they can be able to go to the main area where they do their traditional ceremony, singing and dancing. So once they arrive there, they will be met by their parents or their families, who are also going to be having like new clothes. So if a boy was just but 10, it means that he is now a man. Even at 10 and a half, or at 10 years, 6 months, or at 11 years, he is now a father in the house. So if you were sharing a room with your sister, you're no longer allowed to enter your sister's bedroom. If you were entering mom's bedroom in and out, you're no longer allowed also to enter mom's bedroom. The reason being, you are now a man, so they need to actually bring whatever you need outside. So suppose you don't have a father and you are just at 10, your mom will definitely regard you as a man of the house. She will just come to you and say, we don't have A, B, C, D. Of course, not the physical part of the body is grown, but the mindset has changed because of what they learn during this 6-month period. So once that is done, that boy is now allowed also to train next coming generation, if it's next year, because this happens year in, year out. So if it means you attended the camp this year, you are now also allowed, if there is a camp in the bush, to just go and see those boys who are training. You are allowed to bully them anyhow, you are allowed to tell them here and there. But there are specific elders that come all the way from Angola, that come all the way from Zambia, to share this history or to share this rich culture to their people. So some of these things, when they come back from the camp, they actually not supposed to reveal any of it. So some of the pieces of information that we get will be from people that have either attended the or documentaries that do happen about the Lubale tribes and culture. So it's something very, very special. And then nowadays they do only perform whenever, like maybe on the weekends, if there's a soccer match, if there's a special gathering, social gathering, weddings, birthdays, wheresoever people meet, they will then come and perform as part of entertainment. But every person who performs should be the one who had came from the camp, not anyone. You can be a Lubale by tribe, but if you haven't attended the camp, you are not a Lubale according to them. You are not allowed to touch their stuff. Whenever they are performing, you are not allowed to be close to them. So these are some of the interesting cultures. So they put on the masks and the costumes, or should I call them like more like the masquerades, something that looks more like what was sent by MJ on the group, that gentleman dancing without seeing his face. Those are typical, but those ones come from Malawi now. The Lubales come from Zambia via Angola. That's a special tribe that we have. So they do these cultural performances even for government gatherings, for local social, like we said before. And it's something very, very interesting when it comes to that. Now when you look at South African tribes, we have got other special, should I say ceremonies, or should I say special programs. Suppose in a family, somebody just died, maybe through an accident or anything. The family will then now move and send someone to go to a particular place where that person died. That person should be for the family. So it also means that the person will go and visit the area just to make sure that the spirit is resting. So once they arrive in a particular place where the accident happened, the person then further talks to the spirit. Obviously you will be having traditional kind of like herbs with you in your pocket, in your backpack, just to protect you spiritually. And you would have gone through a witch doctor, so that they also kind of like fortify you to go and make someone's spirit rest. So if they arrive in a particular place after doing one or two things that are supposed to be done, if it means now I'm taking your spirit back home, I have to have a branch, any kind of branch of a tree that I will take and just put it where you died, and speak a few words, cultural words obviously, And then from there, this is just to make sure that the ancestors are with you to protect you as well. And then we just say, Chris, we are here to just take your spirit. We know you are not resting. And then all the way. So when that person is using public transport, that basically means that branch is me. So it means he or she is going to pay for 2 seats, and the other seat, they will just put the branch. So once the person comes back home, depending on the way I died, so if it means you committed suicide, unfortunately the branch is not supposed to enter the homestead. Why? Because it's going to bring in the bad spirit of suicide in the family. So if it means maybe it was an accident, then that's fine, and because there's nothing wrong with that, and then they'll just take the branch, take it to where I'm buried, go put that. So that basically means that my spirit is now resting. So if perhaps the spirit is not resting, accordingly, it's believed that most people would actually appear through your dreams, maybe saying something, I need to rest, I'm not resting. Through here and there, and sometimes we go to the witch doctors, they will also tell you that his spirit is not resting, he's actually wandering. So that's so dangerous for the family. So that's why the family is now forced to work together and send someone to go and get my spirit so that I can rest. A few signs are actually revealed after that branch is put where I'm buried. A few signs will be like it's either a bye-bye sign through the dreams or anything to say, okay guys, I think I'm done now. Now I'm resting, I have to just rest. So all these things are revealed through special people in the family. A dream can come through in any member of the family, mother, father, aunt, you know, and it should be a continuous dream so that it's actually taken seriously. But if it's just one dream and then say, I dreamt about this, and then sometimes maybe that's not exactly what it is. But continuous dreams will definitely reveal that something needs to be done. So when that person is now resting, it's super okay now. The whole family can move on with life. So if you were stabbed or shot, and obviously also committed suicide, now your body is not supposed to enter the yard, because if it means if I was shot and then they take me into the yard, chances are very high that the next victim from my family could be shot as well or could be stabbed. So these are some of the serious deaths that families don't just take as simple, but they make sure that they do something either after burying you, or maybe someone killed you, there is a foul play somewhere. Families always want to know what happened. It doesn't matter whether you were shot, but they want to know the reason why you were shot. Sometimes it can happen that it was just a kind of like a spell where somebody will just say you was shot, but you were not supposed to be shot in the first place. So what happened? So as they go deeper in searching, you will find out that within the families, we sometimes do have problems, that within the families, some people would like to play funny tricks and funny games in family members in order to enrich themselves. It depends. Sometimes some people would want to be richer than anybody else in the family. They go to other extraordinary places. So when they arrive there, they tell them, you need to take down Chris for you to actually have this big truck that you want. So that particular person will just try to play around with the game. And then even if I'm shot wherever I am, but that's not really, the person who shot me just did it, but he wasn't sure of what he's doing. But the person who killed me could be a relative, could be someone very close. And so these are some of the things that actually makes families not to rest. So it's believed that if there was foul play in your death, the family can still go on to an extra mile of going to your grave after your death. It could be 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. They are still in pain. They still don't understand, how did this happen? Probably you were the breadwinner in the whole family. Now the family is going like astray. People are just confused. They don't know what to do, what to touch. They will definitely seek for the answers for your death. And in most cases, it will be like, once they find out that someone has got a hand in someone's death, they just do what we call the reverse. So these are the times now where everything that you had wished for me, now it's back to the sender. So that's why you realize that after a couple of months, if there was foul play, you hear that my uncle died because of this, just fell from a tree and then he just died. And these are now some of the kickback that you get whenever you do something like that to other like families. So in Africa, we do have our own African science, which obviously is understood mostly by the Africans themselves. People can just hate you for who you are and just plant a seed of hate. Whilst you are at work, you just see these problems here and there. The management is having some issues. So all those are things that have been happening, and they still happen even today, whereby somebody can just wish you bad luck and do something after that, and then you see yourself, instead of your life going forward, it's actually going backwards. You have got some few things that you have actually achieved, or you've got some finances here and there, you want to do another business, invest here and there, but you find out that all the monies are not actually adding up. Nothing is actually happening. It might be also maybe my grandfather who is actually using perhaps my star or anything so that he enriches himself. And it's very, very common, especially to the close related people, because those are the people that are able to summon my ancestors. They know very well my ancestors. You start calling them from 1, 2, 3, 4. You put these names, they will definitely let us have access to Chris. So once you have access to me, you can use me anyhow. I can be feeling that I'm sleeping at night, but yet I'm busy farming this side. Now when I wake up in the morning, you find you tired and this and this. So these are some of the things that do happen in our society, in our communities, and it is what it is. There is no place without a grave, so there's no way you can run away from the fate. You just have to stand still and represent yourself and wait for your own special time. So ladies and gentlemen, these were some of the interesting cultures that we thought we could share with you. We tried to cover all of them across Africa because they are all different. We could not specify and say these specifically are from the Zulu, the Xhosa, because they are more or less all closely related, and all these cultures, they mean a lot to us, and we also feel like whenever we share them with you, they will also make a difference on this journey, since when you came for Africa, you came also to visit the nations, the people, the cultures, obviously the animals, the landscape, and everything else is included in your package. So these are some of the cultures. But if by any chance along the way you feel like there's something that maybe skipped you, or you were interested in something maybe to be elaborated a bit further, please feel free. That's why we are here. We don't mind saying the same thing 10 times a day. It is our job. It is what we do for a living. So we hope you did enjoy the culture part of it. Thank you for your attention. Enjoy your drive. Thank you.